Hello everybody, a warm welcome to my channel once again. So as you can see on the board, today we will be talking about different terminology used in division. And as usual, let us start off by a fairly simple example. So suppose we have been asked to divide 5 by 2. Now this 5 that occurs just before the division sign or the number to be divided, it has got a special name in division. It is called dividend. Now moving over to the other side of the division sign, what do we find? Which number do we find? We find the number 2. This number 2 is the number by which we divide 5. And as a result, it's called divisor because it divides 5. Now there are two more terms to be defined in the division process, but for that we will actually have to carry out the division process itself in order to get to that. So let me clear up the board a bit to give me some space. So what do we have to do at first in order to carry out the division process? Well, we have to give two inverted first brackets. And in between, we will have to write the dividend, which is in this example 5. On the left side of the first inverted bracket, which number we put? We put the divisor, which in our case is 2. Okay. Now we will have to read out the tables of 2 in order to reach a number as close to 5 as possible, or preferably equal to 5. So let's read our table of 2. 2 times 1 gives us 2. Are we close to 5 enough? No, let's try a few more steps. 2 times 2 equals to 4. Yeah, 4 seems fairly close to 5. Let's try one more step. 2 times 3 gives us how much? 6. No, this is not acceptable. 6 is not acceptable because we have shot past 5. I mean, we have crossed 5. 6 is bigger than 5. We are not supposed to choose a number that is bigger than 5. Rather, we have to choose a number which is either equal to 5 or as close to 5 as possible. So, what is the number closest to 5 possible in this case? This 4. And how do I get this 4? Well, I have to multiply, this 2 is our divisor, I have to multiply 2 with our divisor in order to get 4. So this 2, what we will do, we will put over here on the right side of the second inverted bracket. So this 2 times this 2 gives us how much? 4. We will put 4 beneath 5. Okay, before going on any further, this 2 that we have got as a natural step in a division process, this 2 has got a special name. This 2 is called quotient. Okay, after having defined quotient, let us return back to our division process itself. What do we do after getting this 4? Well, we subtract this 4 from 5. So let's do that. So 4 subtracted from 5 gives us how much? 1. Okay, now the natural question comes, can I continue the division process? Well, the answer is no. Because our outcome of this subtraction is 1. And this number 1 is less than 2. So you see, whenever you get a number over here after subtraction, whenever you get a number after subtraction which is less than the divisor, the division process is terminated or the division process ends. Now this 1 or numbers such as 1, they also have a special name. They are not called terminator as many of you might have guessed. They are actually called remainder. Why? Because this thing remains undivided. This thing remains undivided at the end of our division process. And as actually remainder to you, this remainder or the number that remains should always be less than our divisor. Now there is actually a very beautiful relationship between dividend, quotient, remainder and divisor. But for that, let me take a brief interlude in order to clear up the board space. Then with another example I will show you the relation. Thank you for patiently waiting. As you can see in the second example, our dividend is 7 and our divisor is 2. So we have been asked to divide 7 by 2. So our first step is to figure out the quotient by reading the tables of 2. So let's start. 2 times 1 is 2. No, we are not close enough. 2 times 2 equals to 4. Still we are far off. 2 times 3 equals to 6. Seems we are getting close. 2 times 4 equals to 8. We are short past 7. So it is not acceptable. We will have to put 6 and we get 6 how? By multiplying 3 with 2. Now as the next step what we will do, we will subtract 6 from 7. Subtract it, we will get 1. So we can see in this case what is our quotient? Our quotient is 3. What is our divisor? Our divisor is 2. What is our dividend? Our dividend is 7. And what is our remainder? Our remainder is 1. So with the help of all these big jumble of numbers, let's try to establish a relationship. What is our dividend? Our dividend is 7. Now we can write 7 as, let's see, 2 times 3 plus 1, isn't it? 2 times 3 equals to 6. 6 plus 1 gives us 7. Now in our case, what is this 2? This 2 is nothing but the divisor. So I can in general write, this is our divisor. What is our 3? 3 in our case is the quotient. And what is this 1? Well, this 1 is the thing that remains after our division process. And this thing that remains is less than the divisor. So I can safely call it remaining. And the home run. What is our 7? Our 7 is nothing but the dividend. Now I have used a fairly simple example to establish this formula relationship, but you can try with different numbers, different combination of numbers, big, small, very small numbers. In every case you will see that this relationship holds. So I can box it off as a general formula. And what our general formula tells us? Dividend is equal to divisor times quotient plus remainder. Now the question comes, what good this formula is? Well, this formula is mostly used to check whether our division process is correct or not, but also in a bit higher level during the remainder theorem. Actually, not the remainder theorem. This relationship will be used to establish the remainder theorem and the factor theorem later in algebra 2, etc., etc. So with this I end my today's video lecture, and I hope it has been useful to anyone out there trying to learn mathematics. Bye bye, see you next time.